After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 413. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Today is Saturday, August 1st, 2020, as we are recording, and this is episode 413.
So we better not do any bouncing or anything, because I've cut it very close on top of our heads this time.
I'll bounce anyway. Bounce if I wanna.
I'll bounce if I wanna.
Okay, we're getting...
By the way, quickly, we need to shame her. She hasn't seen Anastasia. Don Bluth.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm ashamed of you.
I'm not.
You need to see it.
No. I'll go back and watch Rapunzel again. Tangled.
No, you need to see Anastasia, too.
I saw part of it. I wasn't that impressed with it.
It has some cool songs.
I like Tangled. It has cool songs.
How did I see it as a kid and you not see it?
I probably saw part of it, was walking in and out. I must not have been very impressed by it.
Because
I know Meg Ryan is the voice of
Anastasia.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Hello. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 413. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. It is Saturday, August 1st, 2020, as we are recording.
I want to eventually reach episode 24601.
Yeah, that's going to be a long time. Are you done? So I can get on with this without having to repeat this intro
It was a reference.
5,000 times. I can do references after this.
Reference.
Anyway, if you are new, we're glad to have you with us. We hope that you find something you enjoy and that you will stay. And if you are returning, we're always glad to see you back. Mm-hmm. If you are in the shadows, new or returning, or if you don't know where to find the alongs, please feel free, first of all, to join the YouTube channel. Just press the little subscribe button on your right and hit the little bell so you can get notifications. But if you want to become part of the alongs and be eligible for prizes and giveaways and coupon codes and all the fun stuff that happens, that's at the PHN home. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. It's in the description box below. phnpodcast.freeforums.net, and we'd love to see you there as well, so that you can take part in everything. Okay.
Did I put this on upside down?
I don't know. Weird. No, it's not upside down.
It's inside out.
Okay, inside out.
I was like, that doesn't do that normally.
Okay.
I actually got my arms in the armholes.
I'm sorry,
properly.
guys. This apparently is going to be a very interrupted podcast because I did teach her proper manners.
Manners?
Manners. She doesn't apparently use them very often.
They like interrupty podcasts.
I don't like interrupted podcasts. My old brain doesn't know where it's going when you interrupt completely.
I'm helping keep you awake.
No, you're annoying me.
Well,
Only
that's
Father Mike says you have 4 ways of dealing with annoyances.
Exactly.
You can be annoyed. You can choose to be annoyed. You can offer it up. You can do something positive about it. And there was something else. I forget. Do something positive about it. I forget what the other one was. There's 4 things. He says don't do number 1, which was choose to be annoyed.
I'm helping her be a saint.
You're helping me a saint, but I'll help you be a saint.
Nice.
Anyway, okay, moving on. Do you have anything else to say? Oh, tea. This is what happens when I get interrupted.
Cute.
No, you're not remotely.
She does this every time she says cute. I don't know why she does this.
That was my friend Kathy in Texas, and you weren't born yet. I used to work at a daycare center. What it was my husband... What it was my husband was enlisted military, and we were newly married. We had Davina, but not Talia yet. I was pregnant with Talia, and I wanted to work out at one of the clubs, but kind of pricey on an enlisted person's salary. So I went in to apply for a job as a daycare person in the club, and I said to him, "So we can't pay much." She said, "Well, how about this? I don't pay for my membership, and I don't pay the the fee that you do up front, and you pay me the minimum. So they paid me the minimum. I had to work a minimum amount of time a week. I had free membership. And when I finally had to quit because somebody came down with scarlet fever while I was pregnant, no, not with scarlet fever. It was, yeah, I think it was scarlet fever. Came down with something when I was pregnant with Talia. I had to quit doing that part of it.
People getting scarlet fever.
It was something weird that she came up with. It might not have been scarlet fever, but something red. And so I had to quit that, but they never charged me the fee that you do at the beginning. I just had to pick up my regular payments. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't know why I was saying that. Coot, yeah. She worked with me, and she always used to say, her son was Davina's age, and she would say, Coot. I think it was her. Might have been Val.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Val. Anyway, I don't remember.
I am like the last person who can answer.
Well, you weren't there, so
exactly. What
anyway, tea. I go first, I think.
Yes, you do, because you have many more projects than me. Much more projects than me.
In my chronically crocheting mug, because I refuse to do a bunny mug, although I guess in retrospect this is kind of a bunny mug and I might have to find something else.
Because
she's a bunny. But this is chronically crocheting's mug, Yarny Friends that make the best friends. I absolutely love this mug. So Crystal, if you see me switching this mug out, it's not because I don't love the mug, it's because you're a bunny and I can't have a bunny mug during Taurus first hair. Okay.
She's being terrible against bunnies. Yeah.
Well, there's no owls.
Poor bunnies. Wasn't bunnies' fault.
Anyway, in this I have Plum Deluxe tea. It's gingerbread chai tea. Spicy and comforting like a favorite blanket. Pair with winter rituals and comforting traditions. Or just whenever you want it, because I want it now. So,
I want the world.
All organic black tea, honey bush tea, cinnamon orange peel, ginger, cardamom, allspice, clove, black pepper, calendula flavor, essence, joy, gratitude, and caffeine, which I need today, caffeine. So that's our Andy, his tea, okay? And it's Plum Deluxe tea, not Andy's tea.
Well, I mean, it is Andy's tea.
It is Andy's tea.
But the tea is...
The company's Plum Deluxe.
Yes, not Andy's tea.
What do you have?
And I think we just managed to confuse people like 10 times more.
My work here is finished.
I have Plum Deluxe tea. This is new to me. This was thrown in on order. Well, it wasn't thrown in like they just threw it in. They said, hey, you can get it for a couple dollars cheaper if you buy this with your order. I'm like, sure! I'll try a new tea that sounds good. So this is coconut a la creme black tea. Whip up a yummy, delicious cuppa.
Oh, I didn't ask if you wanted some of this.
What is it again?
Gingerbread chai.
I might try it in a sec. Black tea, coconut pieces, vanilla and coconut essences, calendula, love, gratitude, has caffeine. Let me try yours first. Okay. Although I know I've had yours.
I might not have enough sugar in this for you. So it seems like it's a little bit weaker, like maybe I didn't steep it long enough. What happened?
My wrist has been bothering me in certain positions since yesterday.
That's why the weather.
Yeah, it's a little weaker than normal. It's still good, but I mean, I can knit and everything. But if I like try to rip open my medicine,
right,
for my cromolyn, I had to get scissors because it hurt too much.
Right.
So, yay, life with EDS. But my coconut a la creme, which I haven't tried yet.
And that's in what mug?
Oh, well, this is my bunny. All I want is to hug all the bunnies mug.
And that is why I can't do Crystal's mug right now. I have to get myself a turtle mug. Or
you don't have a turtle mug.
I do have one, but it's smaller.
Well, that's why you have to use Crystal's mug, because you don't have unless you use one of your owls. You have like 3 owl mugs.
I don't know how much they carry. I might go to
the tallest one.
I will probably either get a turtle mug or get an owl mug.
You have 3 owl mugs.
But they don't carry as much. Drink your tea.
I think we should try a test to see how much they carry.
And I'm afraid if I wash it.
I think either the blue one or the tall brown one, not the little brown one.
Yeah.
She has 3 owl mugs. She's like, I need a new mug. I need a new owl mug.
I do. I need a mug.
She has 3. 3
I don't have any owl mugs.
3.
I don't have any owl anything.
None of them have ever been used.
Yes, they have. As pencil cases.
They have never been used for their intended purpose.
It smells smoky. No, it smells like coconut. You know what this smells like? A Mounds bar or an Almond Joy.
Huh. I can't smell it, so.
Does it have chocolate in it?
Oh, no. Vanilla. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I'll have to try it again later. That's good.
Hold on. Can you put down?
Yeah, sure. All right.
Thank you.
That's actually pretty good. All of Andy's teas are good.
Yes, it's just that sometimes you like certain things in your teas better than others.
Boy, I can taste the kick of the coconut, though. After you're done, the coconut's like, bam, I am here. And that's good. I like coconut.
I am here.
I'm here. Okay. Sorry, guys. We're silly today. All right.
I'm not silly. I need to
Going-
stop speaking that undertone. No one can hear me when I do that.
Do you have anything else to say?
Oh, I have tons of things to say, but,
No, but
none
do
of
you-
it's pertinent.
Okay. That's what. All right. Moving along then into the alongs. Okay. Because I think I welcomed everybody. When Talia messes me up like this, because I have an old brain, I don't remember where I'm at. So I apologize for the redundancy, and I apologize for anything I may have forgotten. It's all her fault. Okay. Now, the charity, okay, going on the alongs, for those of you who are new, okay, and we have gotten some new members, I think. Before I forget, we've had some new members who have followed me from other podcasts, thinking that maybe that my podcast is our podcast. If you're watching,
Mom doesn't have a podcast.
I don't have a podcast on my channel. This is my podcast with Taya. Okay, I just put right now just random things because I can't figure out how to make the sound work on my computer so I don't have extraneous noise.
Yeah, what we need to do is, even if you have extraneous noise, is set a video up where she says, "This is not my podcast. Check out."
If you're
Needles."
looking for me, or if you know someone who's looked for me and has done my personal little YouTube channel where you have to have a YouTube channel so you can do whatever you do, I am here at Pinhook and Needles. I'm not there at this point. So there's a little, where you have the banner that says, Pinhook and Needles or whatever. On mine, there's a little link that says Pinhook and Needles, and all you have to do is click that link and it'll bring you right to here.
But I think we do need to get you set up with a video, because there's a way that you can then put that video on your front page when everyone comes. That's the first thing they see.
Okay, that's what I want to do because
then people will know, oh, hey, this is not where her podcast
right,
is.
because what's happened is I've joined a couple of live chats when they come up, and people have been really nice about tagging where I'm at, or somebody checked to see where I was at, and then I'll say, oh, I got an uptick. I'll get an email. I got an uptick in my, and I'll look and they came to me. So and I don't think those people are interested in what I have on that. I just have, the videos I follow. A lot of them are Catholic religious. A lot of them are, just they don't have anything to do really with. Well, I guess I have knitting too. I have a lot of
But the
knitting,
thing is that
it's not us.
It's not
us.
an actual podcast, which might be what they're looking for.
Yeah. If they're just looking to follow me, that's fine. I've got plenty of stuff for them. But if you're looking for our content like this, you need to come to Pinhook and Needles.
But, right now we're preaching to the choir.
Well, that's true, but somebody might know someone who said,
Yeah.
if the person who put my link up is in watching us right now, she'll realize, and that, then she'll, because she was really sweet about it. Okay, or he or she, I don't know, it was a handle. Anyway, okay.
The handle was really sweet about it.
Anyway, so for those of you who are new, I will be going through the rules almost verbatim for the first along that we do. And then for the others, I will mostly just do what's different. There may be some things I touch on just for continuity's sake, but mostly the second and third will be just what's different, okay? So the first along that we have going is the PHN Charity Cal Lal, which means Crochet, Knit, and Loom Knit 2020. And it started January 1st, and it goes to the end of the year. So December 31st, midnight, going into January 1st, okay? And let's see here. Projects, okay. Previous whips are allowed, but must be worked on during the along, okay? So if it's a working project, the process that you started...
Progress?
Yes, thank you. If you started 10 years ago, I don't care. We don't care when you started, as long as you work during the along, okay? Chatter and pictures are all in the same thread. This is on our PHN home. That's why I said if you want to take part in this, we'd love to have you there. But because it's easier for us, and because it's hard to do this kind of thing on YouTube, you need to be part of the group.
And that's phm.freeforums.net, or is it at net?
PHNpodcast.freeforums.net, okay?
So.
And it's in the little description box. Okay. All charity projects will be accepted that are knit, loom, knit, or crocheted. The only exception that is sewn are the masks that people are wearing to help with COVID. If you're sewing those are also acceptable, okay? Baby items, the sewn masks, Hat Not Hate, Franciscan Gypsy Designs patterns, My Shawl pattern, Laura Concert Designs patterns, Lady Vertical Creations yarn, which is mine, and Laura, a Lollipop Girl yarns, which is Laura's. Those are all acceptable for 2 chances at a prize for the finished object only. And if you use my yarn or Laura's yarn with one of the featured patterns, those are also accepted for eligible for 3 chances at a prize. But you have to
They're
say
acceptable
why.
and eligible.
Yes, and you have to do your own multiple postings, okay? Because our moderators are not there. They don't have enough time to do all the multiple
They are
postings.
not being paid
No,
for their wonderful work.
They're they're volunteering, and they are amazing.
Yes.
So
If you want to have more chance for prizes, you have to do the work.
do the work. Do the work. Anyway, so let's see here. It's hashtag PHN Charity 2020 on Instagram, all right? And the prizes for the 3rd quarter, we have a left set of yarn donated by Mama C, who's Christina. Thank you, Christina. And a skein of Araucania. Araucania? I don't know.
Araucania, maybe.
Araucania, yeah. Yarn is donated by Marriott. So thank you, Marriott. That one's a stash donation. She donated that a long time.
Araucania.
Yeah,
I think.
I've already lost interest. That yarn, okay. The yarn is beautiful. The yarn is beautiful. The name is atrocious. It's just, for me.
Hey, it might mean something.
It might
Walk
mean,
that back.
I'm not walking it back. For me, it's atrocious. I refuse to walk it back. I think it's beautiful. If
Is
I
it
could pronounce it.
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
I can say that.
Okay.
I can't say this.
I think I actually mangled it myself.
It's what's the word? Exasperate. What is it?
It wouldn't be, because exacerbate has to be making something worse.
No, but I mean that's the way
You
it
mean
is.
but the word can exasperate you
Yes.
versus exacerbate you.
Exasperate you.
You just said neither of them. You just created your own.
I'm a writer. I can do this.
I have no idea what that
Just
word
because
means.
I can write doesn't necessarily mean I can speak. Okay. Anyway, so we have 2 prizes for that. Long story long. Okay. Now,
You've just officially gotten to the point where I think you've stolen Amy's thing.
well, she's not podcasting, so when she comes back, I'll give it back to her. I'm just borrowing it. So,
Did you ask her before you borrowed it?
no, I can't
Then
find it.
that's called stealing.
Not according to
Not according to you and my brother.
Yes, it is a movie reference. If you got it, I'm impressed. Okay.
1999 was the movie.
Was it 1999?
Wow. That's really sad that I know that.
Is it the 1991 or the 1990 or the one that followed? No,
It's the first one.
it's the first one. Okay,
It's
yeah.
1999,
Yeah.
which I believe is when it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is really sad that I know that. Maybe I'm wrong. In which case I'll feel a little less sad.
Love that movie. Anyway. Okay. Cardiac dysautonomia is going on, and it is a quarter long, so it's 3 months, and it started January, February, March, April, May, June. It started July, so we are a third of the way through it. Wow. July 1st through September 30th. And WIPs and FOs are both eligible for chances for the prize. The same, all the rules are the same, basically, okay? The same featured patterns, the same featured yarns, except not the baby stuff and not, Laura's, not the Hat Not Hate and not the masks and not the baby stuff.
Excuse me.
But Talia's patterns, Laura's patterns and yarn, my yarn and my one pattern, those are all eligible for 2 chances at a prize if they meet the following requirements. They have to be done in shades of red, shades of pink, shades of blue, blue-green, teal, that kind of thing, black or white, predominantly, okay? And the reason for that is the pinks and the reds are cardiac. Reds, blue-greens, blues, teals, that kind of color, more blue than green, that's for the dysautonomia. And the black and white is for the zebra, which, you know,
It is a symbol for Ehlers-Danlos, but as we always say, everyone with a rare or little scene, because just because it's rare doesn't mean, just because it's a little scene doesn't mean it's actually rare in the
Right,
population.
just means it hasn't been seen that.
Yeah, or it hasn't all been diagnosed. Because the people aren't going to the doctor and getting it diagnosed.
I think Asperger's was like that back when Davina was getting diagnosed.
Yeah, so especially when you have something on a spectrum,
Right.
It's harder to really get an idea of how many people have it, because it's not like, I don't know, like cancer, where it's like, okay, you have a growth.
Right, or diabetes or something like that.
Where it's very much of a black and white. With some of the spectrum disorders, it can be like, well, you could be on this side,
Right.
or you could be on this
you
side.
can have this thing or this thing. You have a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, so so the zebra is for rare and or little seen, little diagnosed,
Little known, yeah.
little known conditions.
So that's why we have black and white.
That falls, dysautonomia does fall into that. POTS is probably one of the better known. I walked that back. Orthostatic hypotension is the best known. After that is probably POTS, because some of the other ones are really quite unknown. I knew about orthostatic hypotension forever. I think that's really one of the more common ones,
Right.
commonly known ones.
Okay, so I've said about the featured patterns and the featured yarns. Ty's patterns, Laura's patterns, my one pattern, my yarn, and Laura's yarn. Laura's yarn is Lollipop Girl yarns, and my yarn is Lady Fernicle Creations. Ty is Franciscan Gypsy Designs. I am Lady Fernicle Creations on everything. And Laura's patterns, I think, are just Laura Concert Designs. Okay, now,
I think that, is there anything else on the information about the postings or anything?
just that you're responsible for your multiple postings, you know,
Like I said before.
like we said before, it's exactly the same. And if you're confused because we rambled, you can just go to the group, look on the appropriate along, and you'll see all the rules. It's under there.
Did you want to hit up about caregiving? Because you had referenced it last time. That was something that you felt like it should be spoken of.
I didn't really prepare, but maybe that's for the best. A lot of people are caregivers. I know I'm in contact with several people who are caregivers who have different types of caregiving. You know, they're dealing with adult parents, they're dealing with people with illnesses, they're dealing with people with disabilities. And the one thing they seem to have in common is disrupted schedules and disrupted sleep patterns and just kind of maybe a swinging between, you know, doing what you have to do. It's a good thing that you're doing, you're happy about doing it for them, and a frustration that you seem to get lost. That, you know, whenever anything happens, what you want to do gets pushed to the back burner or doesn't get done. And so there's a bit of frustration, I think, in that. There's a frustration in dealing with, you know, when you have multiple in the house like I do, you know, sometimes it seems like it comes to you from all directions. And, you know, I'm blessed that my husband's very supportive and that, you know, he can help take some of that off, and that Davina is improving. Talia's improving too. But it's just, you know, I think whenever you're dealing with a population that needs anywhere from some, I don't want to say supervision necessarily. Assistance.
Because it's not like Davina, you can't leave her in the house alone for a very different reason why I'm going to need help. If I'm having really bad issues with my balance and stuff, I've been informed I'm not taking the stairs.
Right. It's gotten to the point now where my husband and I were, at one time we wouldn't leave Davina alone, and we still won't. But now we won't leave Talia alone for any length of time unless she promises to stay on the first floor. Otherwise, Davina's here, and she's got strict orders that Talia's not allowed to go downstairs because I
can get dizzy spells really quickly,
and then I will worry and I won't leave.
And we talked about the Fall app last time. I've caught it a couple times where I've dropped the phone and it's been like, we're contacting her. You better cancel me,
Yeah.
or we're gonna contact her. Oh my gosh, don't let her think that I've fallen. I haven't fallen. I just dropped my phone again.
But so, and then, like I said, I've got friends who deal with, older.
I think in some ways I think in a lot of ways that can be more frustrating.
What?
The older.
The older people, I've got a couple people who are dealing with older parents who are, having challenges of their own that impact them. And, it's hard to be the caregiver you want to be and that you think you should be all the time, because you feel like you have to be on all the time. And then you get the guilt because you're not on all the time. So, I think it's important for caregivers to find some time, even if it's 5 minutes. I mean,
And time that you carve it's your own, because yes, I don't consider myself as being as disabled as a lot of people, but I mean, I'm not, but also I can't put my laundry away without getting dizzy. And I require assistance because I get really tired. I have to sit down.
she can't get her groceries from the front door.
No, because as soon as I open the door, I have trouble.
Because
Where I end up having to sit.
And then the lady, as good as she was yesterday, for whatever reason, stuck all the bags in front of the door. Taya wouldn't be able to open the door because it was wedged up against the bottom of the door.
And the last time before that, when I had to get groceries, I had to lean against the door frame just to pull it. I wouldn't have been able to do that. It took away my support.
You need to put in a note. Please put it on the bench.
Yeah.
So you don't have to bend.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't close up the door if I go out and get it, or Davina goes out and gets it. But my point is that caregivers need to know that, first of all, they have to have a support. I have multiple supports. I've got my husband, I've got my faith, and I've got,
Because it's not just the things that are obvious, like, oh, they might need help going to the store, or oh, they might need help if they have this thing happen. It's the things like, I might need help putting away my laundry and changing my sheets because that's going to wipe me out for the remainder of the day.
Right.
And those are simple things, but those are simple things that take away time that the caregiver wouldn't have had to do if that person wasn't disabled.
And for the most part, it's not something that bothers, at least for me, it doesn't bother me. I think it's important that we as caregivers, we make time for our spouses, and we make time for ourselves alone. I've missed being able to go to adoration, because that was a time when I knew where Davina was. She was right there in adoration with me, and she had to be quiet. And I could sit there, for whatever amount of time. Here, it's more difficult to do, even though I have the blue light. But, and I think that...
And for people who are new, blue light, when she turns on the blue light, it signals everybody, leave me alone. It doesn't always work.
No, it doesn't.
And we have loud talkers in this house.
We do. I have to shout sometimes and say, hey, I've got the blue light on. That means something.
Well, I think a lot of it's all three of us girls pull from the Italian. We get excited and our voices raise.
Daddy's not soft either.
Yeah.
He can be, but but Davina has a very bad habit of talking. This room that we're in here is at the end of the house, the windows behind us. In between the kitchen and this room is the dining room. And the dining room is where Davina will sit to have her snack, usually, or her breakfast while I'm doing whatever I'm doing in here that has a blue light on. And Dad and Michael will come in and start doing whatever he's doing in the kitchen, and Davina will talk to Mike.
We have a very bad habit in this house of talking to each other from other rooms.
Right.
All of us do it.
So I told her, I said, hey, and I have to say, okay, go into the room and talk with Daddy in the room. So I don't care if they talk. Just the whole purpose of the blue light was so I could have some quiet.
So it's still a work in progress for her to get the time to herself that she needs to recharge herself.
And I guess what I'm trying to say is it's okay for caregivers to feel frustration if the people who are being cared for can feel frustration and maybe a little discouraged or whatever. That's okay. You just have to, it's okay to have those feelings. It's worse to, just kind of either dwell on them or bury them.
Well, because burying them comes out in other ways.
Right.
Usually in anger.
Find a person you can talk to. I actually have a person I talk to outside of the house who is a member of the PHN family, which is really nice. And she knows who she is. I have to have a couple of people, but usually it's the one person. And then, so it's not to dwell on the fact,
I just wanted to address caregivers because it isn't something we have addressed before. And this is, I think there's a lot of people out there who are caregivers that don't necessarily get their needs addressed,
right,
or their feelings addressed,
right. And I think it's very important not to get overwhelmed by, because that's the other thing. You have to prioritize what's important.
And what's different is, okay, so I was a nurse, but when I came home, I made for one thing, I lived a night shift schedule, so I had all this time by myself. It allowed me to recharge, because if I didn't have that time to recharge, it'd be very hard to go back and have the same amount of energy and ability to care for 3 to 6 people, depending on where I was working at the time. As a caregiver, you don't have that time of hours between taking care of people.
Right.
You're always on, and you need to find some way, even if it's just going in the backyard, so you recharge your batteries, because you're doing a job that, there's burnout for nurses. There's going to be burnout for you guys.
And I think it's important to be aware of the differences in personality. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You have to be aware of it. I mean, it's you are who you are. It's how you deal with it that's important. I mean, Davina and I will butt heads a lot, but she's probably a better patient than Talia is.
I'm a good patient. Not really.
You've gotten better, but you're not. She is very independent, and she was very stubborn, and it was hard for her to relinquish her independence. It was very hard, and I understand that completely, but it was hard. We had a rough patch there for about a year, not where we argued necessarily, but where there was some stress because she was coming to terms with what she had to.
Well, I hadn't gotten to the point where I even had accepted that I wouldn't be able to work.
Right. It was very difficult. She was going through stuff. I had to go through it on my end. And Mike and...
I think it's always harder to watch your kid go through something.
It's hard. It's harder sometimes to watch than to do, but doesn't negate the fact that it's difficult to go through as well. But it's a lot of different aspects of caregiving, but I don't want to belabor it because this is a knitting and crocheting podcast.
But because you mentioned caregiving last time, I just wanted to shout out to the caregivers out there who might feel underappreciated and need to feel a little appreciated, maybe even be given an affirmation if you're not getting an affirmation at home, to take that little bit of time to recharge yourself. Even if you get up a little earlier when they're still asleep. They say this for parents, take that little bit of time.
Sure, get up a little earlier than 4:30 in the morning,
well, you don't,
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Go to bed a little. Something where you're just like, okay, I'm alone. And this is my time, and recharging my batteries. However you need to recharge your batteries. Some people need to be alone and quiet. Some people need to watch a movie. Whatever recharges you.
I was going to say something, but I can't remember what it was.
Because I was so eloquent, I took it out of completely drove it out of your mind.
Because you're a rude child. Oh, I remember what it was. If the other thing you have to do, I don't know how many of the adult parents necessarily, the parents, people, you all right?
Yeah, I decided to breathe in my tea.
People who take care of other people, I think everybody who takes care of people where it's not a fact of life ordinary, like Davina was from birth. Okay, I knew I was going to have to do this. With Talia, the one thing that
it caught us by surprise.
Well, the other thing that was really hard, and it surprised me in a way, was Talia and I have always been extremely close. So when this stuff started happening, the stuff that affected her, she had to give up. I had to give up a lot of stuff. Not that I have, not that I can't go places or do things, but the stuff I enjoyed doing with her, I won't do anymore because it's not the same. And I was talking to my husband about this on our walk yesterday. I said, it's not the same. I won't probably go to fiber festivals anymore. I don't have the fun without Talia.
Well, because a lot of our hobbies, we had a lot of things in common that we were tied. We used to, people used to joke that we're twins or whatever because we're like this. But it's changed a lot for you.
Yeah, it was hard. That's one of the harder things. That and seeing Talia lose a lot of her independence. I mean, Mike will take me to the fiber festival if I want to go. I always feel more constraint when I go with him, not because he won't let me do what I want, but because I feel a little guilty about taking him away and maybe spending a little more than I should and stuff like that.
And also, you don't have someone who's sitting there enabling you who gets the same
someone who
craft.
squeals. I mean, if Celeste, if you're watching this and you want to go to the Fiber Festival in 2021, let me know. Maybe I'll go with you. But and just to have someone to go with. But I don't really. It's not the same to we were. It was just something that we really looked forward to, and I think some of the Fiber Festivals and some of the other things that we did together probably won't get done anymore.
Yeah,
So,
I can't. At this point, I can't leave the house.
I'm hoping that I can eventually get it to the point where we can go to our local tea shop for about 30 minutes, maybe our local yarn shop, which is Knitter's Magic in Winchester. If we're hoping that maybe we can go there for 20 or 30 minutes eventually, but I don't know if that'll ever be possible for her.
But I mean, there is always a little glimmer of hope, just because we've apparently come from a place that I didn't know how rough it was until I was told multiple times last week, I think it was, that with this diet change, that you'd actually used the words, I feel like I have my daughter back. Because I have some of the energy. I'm able to spend some time. Nowhere near.
Yeah, I got some of the things back that I didn't think I'd have. We talk story now. We talk about a religion. We talk about,
we have
design.
very loud discussions and disagreements.
Which is back to normal. So
Not like serious disagreements.
No, we just get loud.
We just get loud, and my logical side tends to annoy her sometimes.
because she doesn't listen.
She doesn't either. I come by it naturally.
Anyway, so that's
My mother's side.
Caregiver. Your father's side is pretty bad too.
Okay, both sides. Strongly.
Anyway, the okay, so that was probably more than you needed to know. That was our dysautonomia cardiac information segment. Okay,
Right. Yeah, just shout out to the caregivers. And, yeah.
And if you're a caregiver, and you want to share something, that's fine. You can do it in
the
YouTube,
comments.
in the
Yeah,
comments,
you might-
or a PHN if you feel like you want to be more private.
Especially if you don't have anyone at home that you feel like you can be like, yeah, this is rough, without feeling. Cause sometimes you feel like, I think that you're whining, or you feel like the people
or
around,
nobody else understands, or
right, right, and
especially during quarantine.
yeah. So I think that it's important to have a place to be like, yeah, this is rough, or because you might not always feel like Mom and I are close, so we can talk about it, but you might not always feel like whoever you're being the caregiver for is able to handle your stuff on top of their stuff. Or if they have something like dementia, they aren't capable.
And my heart goes out to people like that. That's awful.
Yeah, that's very rough.
Yeah.
I'm just from dealing from a nursing perspective and having had dementia patients.
Yeah. I don't have any experience with that, but that sounds rough.
But yeah, so
Okay.
just want to reach out and give yourself community. I don't know if there's anything. I'm sure there's something on Facebook. That was one of the things one of the first things I did once I started getting names for what I had was I started looking for support groups because I felt so darn alone.
Be careful when you do them. I found a couple that I have a couple that I'm involved with, and that I gave my friend a couple of those as well. I don't want to say her name because she might not want me to. So I did tell her about them, and she is also on at least one of them. So it's just...
so yeah, if you are a caregiver, you haven't really talked about, you're interested in a support group, or even if you have a chronic condition and you're interested in some, I do have a couple support groups that I can mention people on Facebook.
Crystal, if you want, if you're interested in that, contact Talia, or contact me and I'll ask for Talia.
And actually two of my hugest supports have been actually not even something I searched for on Facebook, Instagram. Shout out to Jess.
Yes.
Jess and I met. We've still never met in person.
She was going to, but then she couldn't.
Yeah, then she couldn't.
She walked a whole mile.
Good for her.
I was proud of her.
She and I met on Instagram. She was already following me because of the podcast and crafting. And we got our first tilt table the same day. And so that's like 3 years ago. And we've been in contact ever since. I mean, it's been great. We've always, our diagnoses aren't exactly the same anymore. We diverge at a certain point, but we always, we don't keep, for a while there were daily contact. Now it's like every once in a while one of us will throw a message toward each other.
Well, you're getting your lives back. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she finished school finally, right? She got her diploma.
I know she was almost there.
Yeah, I thought she got
I
her
thought she got it, but that might have been during a period of time where I was having a rough spot and I stopped going on Instagram. But the other person is a Catholic nun, who has all the same diagnoses I do.
We call her Sister Domenica.
Yeah.
Because she's a Dominican nun.
But yeah, so I have those two people who are probably my closest chronic illness. Jess, I've known for years. Sister, since a little bit before surgery. So it's really great to have those people where you have a rough day and you're just like, no one understands. Rah! And I feel like caregivers need that too.
Okay. Are you finished enlonging this
Yes.
now? Okay. Now we'll go. Cute. All right. Ranting cute ramblings. I don't know. Anyway.
Or just a really long Q.
It almost sounds like a Q. Anyway, the next one.
No, Q is a child person.
Yes, this is true. All right, tortoise versus hare. Okay, that is Laura Concert.
We hadn't even got to tortoise versus
No, that's why I kept trying to stop you.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry.
She's not really.
This is going to be a long one.
As opposed to the others that were not long.
Longer?
Anyway, tortoise versus hare. 2020. Okay, this is Laura Concert's baby. She's been doing this for years, and she has asked us.
She's
again,
a tortoise baby?
Very sweetly to co-host with her, which we are doing, along with B-Wing, who is Comforting Crafts. Brittany is on Ravelry, so I think all the stuff for this will be on Ravelry. All the stuff for her charity stuff, like the washcloths. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot for the charity along. Her washcloths are 2 chances at a prize. Okay. If you're going to be giving them to Brittany. She doesn't have patterns, but if you give them to her, you have to say you're giving them to Brittany, and then you have to do so, okay?
Yes,
but
don't just say you're giving them to Brittany.
But you're on your honor, because I can't check that, all right?
Don't tell them that.
Yes, and...
she has the power.
I have the power. I see everything. Somebody's watching you. Anyway, so this is Laura Concert's baby, and the co-hosts are us and Brittany, who is on Ravelry and on Facebook, but I think she's only doing the tortoise versus hare on Ravelry, I think. The featured patterns, this runs from July 1st to September 1st. Okay, so it ends
September 1st?
That doesn't make sense.
No.
July 1st to September 30th. Okay, that's
30 days have September, yes. Through September.
Right. It ends on midnight.
October.
Yeah, October 1st. So, okay. It can be started any time, but it has to be the theme, which is tortoise and or hares, okay? The featured patterns are Franciscan Gypsy Designs, and she's got several bunny and turtle patterns. Laura Concert's designs.
And there's more bunnies in the wings as well.
Yeah, if I had a pattern that was actually turtled, turtles, you could do it, or bunnies. I do have some yarn that is bunny or turtle themed. Or if you use it in a project, my yarn that's, project, that's, it's the same basic thing, okay? Featured patterns, Ty is mine and Laura's. Featured yarns, mine and Laura's. If they are tortoise versus hare in any way, shape, or form.
They have to be somehow related to tortoise versus hare.
Or tortoise or hare.
Yes.
Okay? So,
because we want the hares to win this year.
Ha.
Come on, hares.
Ty,
I need to take a picture of my bunny bookmark that I gave you.
Okay. Anyway.
I keep meaning to do that, so I can send it on to Laura.
The picture or the bookmark? Or you can't have the bookmark.
The picture.
You can't have the bookmark.
Because I need to get credit for it.
Okay. Anyway, so anything related to tortoise versus hare that's knit, loom knit, or crocheted, same featured patterns, same featured yarns as everything else, okay?
Or did I already take a picture of it?
The hashtag is tortoise versus hare 2020. Let's see here.
I think now that I might have taken a picture of it. I have no idea.
Okay.
Because I am a bleach blonde brunette.
Okay, so that's basically it for tortoise versus hare. Our rules in this along might be different than Laura's slightly, or Brittany's slightly different. Just check to see.
I took a picture of it already.
Okay. I'm not sure if Laura does the drawings for this monthly. I think at one time she might have, but I think right now with all this going on, she might just be doing whenever.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we do it at the end of the along. So I guess it's October 1st is when we'll probably draw for that. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's...
give everyone a chance.
Yeah, it's hashtag tortoise versus hare. Actually, for us, I only have hashtag tortoise versus hare 2020. Normally it's PHN for us, but it doesn't matter. Hashtag tortoise versus hare 2020. All right? Okay, so after all that, if you're confused about the alongs, contact me, contact Laura for the tortoise versus hare.
If you contact Talia, it might take a while.
Yeah, well, you have to contact me and kind of knock me upside the head.
Although actually I've become a lot better at answering since I've been doing a lot more of the designing stuff.
I
for them
have
and my email
too.
more.
It depends on where you contact me. Like I received something. I think SK Hoyt wrote to me that says she received something. I got the message. I just haven't had a chance to respond. I think I responded to Steph already, but it takes me a little longer than it has in the past. Although I've always been terrible about. I get so many things in my email. It gets lost.
Well,
sometimes.
we're in the process of trying to weed through who
We are.
gives us emails.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I think I've marked them as spam, then I get an email from them like,
Yeah.
not a person, like an entity that I thought that I wanted 20 million emails from, and then I realized I didn't actually.
Or I went back to do one because I'm trying to cut back as well. And I realized that, I don't have to get all of them. I can just get this one that I really want. For some reason, I had like whatever amount, and I end up getting like 3 or 4 a day from them, and that's just too much for me. It stresses me out.
Yes.
So,
and it gets to the point where you're not really reading your emails, and you're missing important things.
yeah, I just delete. So, if you don't hear from me in a couple days, go ahead and touch base with me again, because it might just be that I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because generally I try to get back to you right away, and if it's something for the shop, I get back to you within a day.
And actually, it's a really good place to reach her.
Yeah.
Etsy.
Yeah, Etsy.
Because Etsy doesn't really open it
No, it doesn't.
with unnecessary stuff.
Right. The only problem about that is if you contact me on Etsy for something that's not Etsy related, I'm probably going to move that conversation to PHN.
But at least it's a place to, if you're trying to get a hold and you can't get a hold of her,
Right.
it's a great place to
Right.
ping her.
And if you're not on PHN, then I will probably, and you contact me on Etsy, I will probably give you an email address, and you can contact me that way, because I don't like to fill out my Etsy box.
But
for
at least
that.
it's a place like, darn, I can't get a hold of her.
Yep.
Contact her
Yeah.
through Etsy. You'll at least get a hold of her, and then you can move it elsewhere.
Etsy, I don't usually put it aside, because I don't like to let Etsy stuff just sit. Okay. All right, so on to rough drafts.
And I have now 5 because I had only 4, and I was like, darn, I need to work on another one. So that's why I started working on this during the stuff. But you have 8, so
8, yeah. At
you
least I
have
think
to
I have
double
8.
for a while.
Yeah, except for the last one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, my first one's in my Mama C. Al bag. And this is actually 2 projects, but I only worked on the one. This is September and October, the baby turtles. They are mirror twins, okay?
The little mirror twins.
This is September. I didn't work on September. This is October. October is getting a little bit done.
You just wanted to work with sheaf.
I love this color.
It is a nice color.
I was afraid I was not going to be able to do something with it. And I said, okay, I got these really pretty autumnal colors. I'm going to use it for turtles. And I said, I think I have enough for 2 biddies. And so these 2 biddies are mine,
So that means they'll live back here.
or they'll live upstairs.
True.
I haven't decided yet. I'm sorry, guys. My hair is just driving me nuts.
But it'd be really sad if the twins didn't get their moment of fame.
Well, they'll get their moment of fame. They'll get shown on the podcast. But this is October. October will have gold here. And then the green, if we see gold there, so that means the legs and the head will be green, right?
Oh, the legs.
Okay.
If you wait,
Okay.
what's your question?
Okay. October is going to be gold here. So she's going to have
Oh
green
yeah, so different
here.
colors for that. Sorry,
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking of my color work.
Right. So,
So-
this and September, which is green down here, will have the gold here and here.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
correct.
So, and I forgot what I named that one, but anyway. So that's this.
Not September, October. This one.
Yeah. No, September and October is still my bad. So that's a lot of fun. That's the sheaf colorway is Dragonfly Fibers. This is Mad Tosh.
Sheep starting with fibers, not Miracle Gen.
No, Miracle Gen is fresh.
Oh, okay, because
This is liquid gold. in
it looks like
Mad
something
Tosh.
Miracle Gen would have died.
Yeah. It's a little. I don't remember her doing quite this kind of a jewel tone.
Oh, I guess you're right.
And then this is Miracle Gen. So I say it matches very well. But,
Yeah.
Okay. I love Miracle Gen. I love Dragonfly, and both of them are gone. Well, Dragonfly Fibers is still available, but it's a different different dyer. There's 2 dyers.
She gave them her recipes.
Some of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
I'm still looking to see if that red is going to come up that I like so much in the rodeo kit. I have not.
Well, that's why I never. That's the one yarn that if you're like, oh, I need yarn, I'm like, I'm
Right.
not sharing that.
Well, I have not. I think it's
This one right here.
I have not purchased anything from Dragonfly Fibers since they switched hands. I do want to see how their yarn holds up now. But, and then Marigold Jen, I just can't. So if I see it, if you don't want your Marigold Jen and you're looking to destash, before you destash, let me see what you have, and I might be willing to take it off your hands because I love Marigold Jen, especially her DK weight and her. I tend toward DK and sport and maybe worsted. I do have some worsted. I don't do as much fingering sock, although if something's super spectacular, I might.
DK and sport tend to be my go-tos.
Yeah, mine too.
You have one more that you do before me.
Yes, I do. Okay, now my next one is in my large Universal Studios bag, and this is my Ninja Turtle baby blanket project from the Ninja Turtle baby blanket pattern by Lisa Vanilla. I lost my pattern for this, but I'm still working it. I mean, it's not like I don't.
And if you really needed it, you have
well,
it.
I can just measure the inches to kind of get an idea where I'm at because I had it written out what I was supposed to be doing. But I can just kind of, on this I can read.
Yeah.
I can read what I'm doing. It's crochet, I know what I'm doing. So,
Because Mom and I had a long conversation during the tea party about reading knitting.
yeah, if that's on the Patreons thing.
Yes.
This is the blanket. I did some green. I think I keep changing hooks on this. So it's just,
That's going to affect your blanket.
I know it is. But not hugely changing it, but
What other project are you working that you could be changing the hook with?
I think I have 2 hooks in here. And so I keep forgetting which one I have.
Okay, we need to check your bag before you close it again. To
I know.
Check for another hook, okay?
Well, we'll do that after the podcast. But
No, if we do it after the podcast, you won't do it.
the thing is, I'm not sure which one it is that I'm using. Right now I'm using this one, I think.
Let's make sure that you don't have another hook in here.
I can't read this.
I feel like I'm going into Mary Poppins' bag or something.
It's a very sturdy bag.
I think it's called Southern something or other. Southern Humor. It's I think it's So True Y'all is the channel, and they have something about a woman's purse being
black hole.
The black hole, like, and she tells her husband, "Oh, I think the keys are in the bottom," and he starts reaching in, and he falls in, and he's like, and his hand comes out of the purse, and he's like, "Here's your keys." She's like, "Oh, you want to stay in there? Well, I'm going to Target." "Yeah, sure." So she picks up the purse, and
And it's not heavy because it's a bottomless pit. You know.
I don't feel another hook in here.
Okay, I must have already taken it out.
But, it's a bottomless pit. It might have gone to, another realm in there.
And for those of you who are you're new or you're not familiar with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they are 4 turtle brothers who have a mentor who is a rat.
I can't imagine anyone's not familiar.
Well, you never know.
That's true. I mean, it's just so ingrained in pop culture.
Well, it's also ingrained in our culture here at
That's
home.
true.
So the green is the turtles. Okay, there's 4 brothers.
Sorry, guys.
This blue down here is Leonardo, who's the leader, and we say the oldest. Raphael, we say, is the second oldest.
And our opinions about age is based on the Nickelodeon show.
Right.
Where it's pretty, they make it pretty apparent, the age.
And it's pretty consistent. Raphael is the attitude and the muscle, if you will.
He's a middle child.
He's the second one. He's one of the middle child.
But he has middle child syndrome.
And then we've got another green, and then we have the purple is next, and that's Donatello. He's the second to the baby, okay? That's Donatello. He's the brains. He's got a lot of, they're all relatively smart, but he's the one that's technologically inclined.
Well, Mikey's more intuition.
Mikey is orange, and he is intuition and all. Like, they had an episode where Splinter was trying to get Donnie to relax when he was fighting, and Michelangelo comes along, he's eating a pizza or whatever he's doing, and Splinter's the rat, okay, the mentor, and he throws something, some kind of stuff, and Mike is just he's not even
Paying attention.
He's just intuition, he just does it.
If he thinks about it, he freezes.
Right.
But if he just goes off of him being himself, he just goes with it.
And I love the psychology. And we sat there one day and had a discussion about the different psychological profiles of the, yes, we are nerds, of the different turtles and Splinter. And it was very, very interesting to be doing that.
We do this frequently for fandoms where we'll sit and we'll psychoanalyze them. Because as writers, we're very character driven, not plot driven.
Right.
So that's how we look at stories.
I don't know what happened to my hook. Oh, there it is. Okay.
It fell into the bottomless pit and it's never to return again.
I can stand in a line when I go shopping, and I warn the people. I say, hey, you're in the wrong line. Yes, I know I have 2 items, but it's going to take me all day to find my XYZ in the bottom of my purse. So, all right, so that's that. Your turn.
Yes, it is my turn. And I'm going to show what I'm currently working right now. This is, I don't know why I'm grabbing my show notes because this is my pattern. I should know what it is.
This is my yarn. Yes. Mine. I want it.
No, give that back to me.
Took her long enough.
Well, I thought at first, because this is your yarn.
Right. That's Lady
This is Lady
Furnico
Furnico Creations.
This is Dragonfly
Silver
Fibers.
Bells. This is Silver Bells. This is from the Rodeo Kit.
Yeah, that's Dragonfly Fibers. Mm-hmm.
So
that's the color I want. I have to figure out how she did that. That's absolutely gorgeous.
So, this is my Bunny Love cowl. This was not worked on all week until today. Because I realized I needed more than 4 projects to show. And I hadn't really worked color work much this week.
That's really pretty, Ty. I like the way it's popping.
I am really... Because initially I accidentally started with the red.
Right.
I'm glad I ripped back.
I mean, it would have been fine, but
it would have been fine, but I didn't want red bunnies.
No, I like this.
We've talked about how I find red bunnies creepy.
They're kind of, especially that kind of red, look like vampire bunnies.
So, and as much as I love bunnies, I didn't want red bunnies. So I had instead started with the Silver Bells, and I really love it. It gives me red hearts, and then I get silver sparkly bunnies. Because there is a little bit of a sparkle to this. So this one is mine. I don't know when I'm expecting I'm going to wear these things, because I don't hardly wear cowls because I get so hot. But also I get cold sometimes.
You might still wear it, you know.
And I don't think it'll bother every once in a while I'll get really itchy back here in the scar. But
you can put, what is it you used to put back there sometimes? You used to put like a little silk scarf or something.
Yeah, I don't think this will bother me terribly though. Because sometimes even the silk scarves.
Well, I know this base that I gave you is very soft.
Yeah, and that's the main
And this
one.
dragonfly is pretty soft too, so.
So yeah, I'm keeping this regardless because I want it. And if I find I don't wear it, I can always gift it or something.
Right. No, that's if you gift it, it goes to me. I'm just saying. I'm not asking for it. I'm saying if you decide to gift it, it's mine.
Oh, okay, because you like the colors that much?
I do, yes. Okay, even if it is bunnies.
Maybe it's because it's bunnies. Maybe you're a closet bunny.
No, I'm an owl. Okay.
You are an owl.
All right, so anyway, the fact Laura and I were talking about that on her live stream, Laura Concert, about, tortoise versus hare, because I was teasing her about she really wants to make a bunny, and that went over really well. So
I think in her heart of hearts, she's a bunny, and she just, is...
She protests too much?
She protests too loudly.
She's going to pop you one.
It was Shakespeare, right? Methinks the lady protests too much?
Yes, I think it's Shakespeare.
I don't know which play.
I don't know.
Because I'm not very well versed in
I know
the quotes in Shakespeare.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with a few, but not the quotes necessarily.
Because I've never read Hamlet. I've read Macbeth. Mm-hmm. I've read... What's the one with Shiloh?
Is that Julius? No, that's not Julius Caesar. What is that? Shiloh.
Shiloh. That's
is that the Merchant of Venice?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I read Merchant of Venice because I had to in school. Did I say Macbeth?
Yes.
Okay, so
I think everybody reads Macbeth. You read Romeo and Juliet. You read Romeo and Juliet.
No, I didn't.
No? Oh, I thought we read that with you.
Nope. I think I've only read the 2 then.
When I was in the 8th grade, we went to see Julius Caesar in the Round, and that was kind of fun.
In the Round?
Yeah, the stage was like in the center of the audience, like this.
So interesting.
Yeah,
that would have been challenging, I think, as a performer.
Yeah, I think it would have been
because you have half the audience looking at your back.
Yeah, you had to move a lot,
Oh, that would have been super challenging.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, that was kind of cool. All right, moving on. I wanted to do more work on this than I actually got done. This is in my Silver Shed USA Owls bag. My Archimedes owl bag is what I call it because it reminds me of the owl from Sword and Stone. Davina's artwork and Brody's bag. Wonderful combination always. I did make some progress on this. Make sure I put that hook back in there because I won't remember what hook I'm using on this if I don't.
Did you put the one back in Turtles? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. Okay. So this is coming along. I think I did maybe 3 or 4 rows on this.
At least I never have to worry about my needles walking away, like unless it's DPN. My DPN sometimes walk away.
So it's moving. It's
Oh, okay. Am I pulling on something? Because I was trying to
You're okay.
straighten this a little bit so they could see, but...
It's already down to her waistband, and I still have... I want to...
we want it to have a tip where it'll cover my arms nicely.
Yeah.
It's starting to, but...
Because the one that Crystal has and the one that I have... The one that Crystal has is really big.
Well, for shawls like this, bigger the better, because sometimes I'm too hot for a sweater, but I'm too cold to have nothing.
Right. And this is all Miss Babs. Well, no, I take that back. I'm mistaken. 3 of the colorways are Miss Babs. The 2 variegated. See here.
Oopsie, it's a bunny.
This variegated here and this variegated are Miss Babs, and so is this brown, okay? This gold is, I think it's Malabrigo.
No, it's Matosh.
It's Matosh. Okay.
Wait, I think? Is that the one I gave you or not?
I don't know.
No, it's not. I didn't give that to you. Never mind. I lied.
It is...
I don't know what that is.
I'm pretty sure this is Malabrigo.
Because I gave you
it's gold. It's liquid gold, whatever it is. It might be Matosh.
Well, then it is Matosh, but wait, the liquid gold is for turtle.
You're right.
Because I gave you that for turtle. I didn't have a whole lot. I used it for the original turtle.
I have the ball
when I designed
Here it is. It is Malabrigo.
Okay.
It's Malabrigo, and it's Sunset. That's right. It's Sunset.
Sunrise,
the reason I can never remember...
sunset.
Stop. The reason I can't remember the color is it doesn't look like sunset to me. To me, a sunset is purples and blues and stuff. This focuses more like on the sun. I'm thinking more of the, the whole panorama. Stop it.
Sunset.
Stop it, or you will do this by yourself. And I'm serious. I will walk out and you will do this by yourself.
You love Fiddler.
I do love Fiddler, but I don't like being interrupted. It makes me cranky. Don't even say it. Because your fusion will not save you from the wrath that is Mom.
You would risk the fusion?
Do I have one more to do? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
you have to do 2.
Okay, this one got a fair amount of work, if I can figure out what bag I have it in. The Chameleon's bag. Okay. This is the from the bottom of the hill that I kind of eyeballed the pattern from the picture. And I know now what I want to do for the pattern that I'm going to do. Okay? So, but this one is just kind of a one-off.
Sorry, guys.
This one I lost the pattern, I think. Oh, no, is this it? I found it again?
Yes, looks like it.
No, this is my Violently Happy shawl. That's my something else. Okay, so this made, I must have done, I don't know, 8 or 10 rows on this, maybe more, because this just goes really quick. It's very intuitive. I just look at this marker and look at my knitting and see where I'm at, and I know what to do. So I don't really need the pattern. So that's, the color is James C. Brett, and I think it's chunky.
Well, that's all. It comes.
James C. Brett has a whole line.
Oh, okay. Usually it's chunky that we get.
Yes. I never buy anything but the chunky for James C. Brett. It's got excellent yardage, excellent price for this chunky. And it's either the MC9 or MC10 colorway. Ty and I said we think it's something beach sand, something like that. So this is really, I like this. And my husband will probably end up with this unless, if he doesn't want it, it'll probably go to charity. It's curling a bit, but I don't want to necessarily steam block it.
Oh, that's right, because you can't really block it because it's acrylic.
Yeah, you have to steam block it. And I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll just put a book on it, just when it's done. So anyway.
It's not going to be very long lasting if you just put a book on it.
It doesn't have to be long lasting. Because after that, people will start tying it or whatever, and it's not going to matter. So as soon as this, I'm going to go to the end of this. We'll see if I need to break open the other one up there. I have one more of these up on my shelf that's behind you guys as we're looking at the screen. So I'm just going to keep going with this. And then when I'm done with that, I'll think about writing up. I've already written kind of a quasi pattern for what I want to do. Because apparently when I see things, I see it knit. But it has to be simple. So, because I have to be able to fix it myself. And when I do, and we talked about this on the tea, that I need to learn to fix my knitting, and I'm trying to. But as I told the people who were watching on the knitting, that the idea of knitting something up just so I can rip it out, my hands immediately rebel. It's just,
and you have, for design, you really have to be able to rip things out because you can't be married to anything that's currently on the needles.
Well, I need to learn to do
at least when you're designing.
I need to learn what Tayo is talking about, and that is to go down a certain amount and then pick up the stitches, because then it won't be a problem. I'll just pick up the stitches and then rip it out, and then I can go from there. And that would be fine. Because, see, with crochet, I'm not afraid to rip it out. I just go yank, and it's gone. I mean, except when I get a yarn like Unforgivable, which is not called Unforgivable.
And then the one that I made Davina's Bianca
oh, my
hat out
gosh.
of.
Oh, that would drive me insane.
Oh, I ended up cutting that in multiple pieces and still somehow managed to splice together enough to knit the hat and then a little thing.
Cute thing. She loves
I used
that.
every bit of the yarn.
Davina loves her hats. She will wear the hats and the mitts all the time. In the house, sometimes we feel chilly regardless because Mike likes the air conditioner on. We all like it to be cooler rather than hot. And so Davina, who is she gets cold very easily.
Well, we think there's summer now that's going on.
Yeah, so she will wear the hats that we make her and the mitts that Talia makes her all the time.
Well, I was shocked even though she knew it was coming. I was shocked how excited she was about her Quicksilver mitts.
Oh, she was absolutely ecstatic.
Like, I was startled by how much she liked
was
those.
really excited about that. So, okay, so that's what I've got. Those are my
Okay, so
that's my 4.
me next.
Yep, you.
I'm sorry, guys. So,
We'll try to keep it moving, guys. Seriously.
next would be in my... I'm so great. Let me take a drink.
That'd be a good idea.
I have like... Ugh.
Because apparently if she needs a drink, I need a drink.
Power suggestion. I can just
Power of
newly...
not having water.
You know, all the allergy medicine that I take, you'd think that'd help. But...
What as I said, it probably is helping. It'd probably be worse if you didn't take it.
So, in my Fun in the Woman Cave bag, this is 2017 bag, is... This actually literally just got released on Etsy. I need to release it on Lovecrafts. I forgot this morning that I was supposed to release it. Usually I release it a little before midnight before I go to bed. But I was so tired last night, I forgot.
Mina, what are you looking for?
Tape.
Oh. Come here and say hi real quick.
Just a quick wave by.
Just say hi. Really quick.
Hi, Laura. Hi, JD. Hi,
gotta
Jacqueline.
They can't see you, kiddo. There.
Come
a little
down.
lower, a little lower. And a little bit toward my... There we go.
Hello, Laura. Hello, JD. Hello, Jacqueline.
Okay. Off you
Okay.
go.
Thank you.
That's Davina.
So, it's released on Etsy, but it's not yet released on Lovecrafts. I'll check over on Etsy again, make sure everything makes sense. Because I had it sitting in drafts for a while, because I knew it needed to be released before the podcast. And I just forgot until seconds before the podcast.
I said release it. It takes 5 seconds.
Yeah, especially since I already had it made. You know, if I had to create
The
it...
draft made.
Yeah, I already had the draft made. I already had the document in there, everything. But, excuse me. This is my Sacrament Most Holy bookmark.
Who's getting that one?
This one is for the sister's mom.
Oh, right.
Sister Margaret. Sister Margaret.
Okay.
I don't want to do her last name too.
No.
So, her
Not
mom.
that she's not all over the internet,
Yeah,
but
but still,
still.
her mom doesn't know she's getting this.
Right.
And
you don't want that to happen
almost. I'm almost done.
You're really close.
Oh yeah, I just need to finish. I only worked on this on Sunday, and then the rest of the week, I had to work on a what's it called? A commission.
Right.
Yeah, it's currently, but that's only because I need to block it and then I'm done.
Very pretty.
I mean, once I finish, I think I have like 3 more rows, and then it's just straight
Very
one
nice.
color.
Very nice.
And it does work up really quickly if I actually work on it.
Funny how that works.
I know, funny how that works. And I have yarn that Mom dyed up for me in silver, so I could do this chalice in silver as well.
It's a sparkly silver, too.
It's a sparkly. Oh, I requested sparkly, because I like the idea of the chalice being sparkly.
Guys, if you see me moving around, I think I must have slept wrong. I'm a little stiff, so I apologize if I'm distracting you. Okay.
You are so distracted.
I am. So, okay.
There or lower?
No, it's right here.
Here?
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, my next one, I felt bad. She made me smile. I forget what her name was, but she commented that she was excited about the Pesty Westy. I can't show it yet, can I? Because it's not released yet.
Is it the migraine?
Yeah.
It's released.
Okay. So this is the Pesty Westy from the Migraine pattern by Talia.
I released that on Wednesday.
and I did some work on it. Taya fixed something. She fixed the error it was funny because I gave it. She was really out of it, and
Yeah, I've been kind of out of it all week.
I gave it to her. I said, okay, whenever you. Well, first of all, she had it, and she said, okay, well, bring it to the point where I can just drop down. I said, okay, so I brought it back. I did what she said. I put it back in her bedroom. I said, okay, it's in there. Whenever you get the chance, do it. Okay, I appreciate
And in
that.
my recollection, she didn't tell me that it was in the room. So
Yeah, well,
I thought she'd left the bag in
She
there.
thought I left the bag. Why I left the bag? No. So she brought it back. Now I said, it's done already? She said, yeah. I said, okay, good.
No, I didn't hear, is it done already?
Yeah, I did. I said, you're done. And she said, yeah. So I didn't even check to see if it was done. So I got 2 rows in. I'm like, oh, she didn't do it. So I said, okay, it's
It
going
was
to be
a huge miscommunication.
Yeah, it was. She was out of it, and maybe I was not as loud as I should have been. Sometimes sometimes I can be loud, sometimes I can be very soft. It depends. So I said, yeah, I just left the design on it. She said, well, just get back to where it was, and she went ahead and fixed it. But it made me. Somebody had got excited about it because she has Westies, and now I told her, I said, well, it's nothing to do with dogs, but I love dogs, and now I'm going to think about Westies every time I pull it out. Her and Westies. I think it's a Westland Terrier. I forget what it's called. But anyway, this is my
I'm not even sure why you call it Pesty Westy.
I told you why. That your grandma used to call us Pesty Westy when we were naughty.
Oh, okay.
So Taya just left me where I was here. She fixed it for me.
Because what happened was, in this section here, she had accidentally left an area of stockinette.
Right. So she just dropped down and fixed it for me. And I think I'm about maybe 7 inches? No, 5 inches maybe?
Maybe about 5.
About 5 inches. So I'm about...
Well, this here is about 2 inches.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about 5 inches.
Yeah, almost 6 because it's curling. Yeah. So I'm about not quite halfway, maybe a third of the way done. And so this is not hard. All I have to do remember is, okay, here's my front. Instead of looking what I marked off, this is the front. Then I go to what the front is marked off as front, and I do that. This is the back, then I do that. Instead of looking at...
I've come to realize that Mom and my brains just work so differently when it comes to crafting, because when she's talking about this, her actually having to think about it, I'm like, but I do this without looking.
Well,
so for me, it confuses the heck out of me.
See, and yet, the pattern that I pulled out, the last one, the scarf, I don't have to look at that.
Which confuses the heck out of me, because this is simpler.
Or the shawl I'm working with her, for her. I don't have to look at it, unless I haven't done it for a while.
But that's crochet.
Yeah, that's crochet. But I'm talking that the way we think. But this is really intuitive. It really is. If I talk, and it's not so much that I have to pay attention, it's just I have to pay attention to what I'm looking at when I'm doing the pattern. Because I don't want to remember I don't want to misremember what I'm doing. So I read it real quick. And I can read my knitting, it's just a matter of remembering what makes this. And if I look at it, I know what the stitch is. But, so it's really, the yarn is just, I think it's Hobby Lobby, or I love this yarn or something. Let me see here. I don't use much in Red Heart.
I think it was Hobby Lobby.
I think it's Hobby Lobby. I think I got rid of all my Red Heart.
You have a couple up there that look like they could be Red Heart.
I think I got rid of all my Red Heart, honestly, when I was going through, because I just didn't like the way it felt. I might have a Red Heart Soft up there.
That's what I was saying. If you might have one up there.
That kind of purpley one might be a Red Heart Soft. I don't know. But anyway, so this is in my Silver Shed USA Star Wars AT-AT bag. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so...
Oh, do I have to do another one?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right. In my Chronically Crocheting's llama bag. Okay, my bag that she made for me. I love this. Thank you, Crystal. Let me see what I have in here. I am working on a dish rag, because this is where I have my dish rags. This color.
Dish rag sounds so much more...
What was this in? This was the shawl.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have been the blanket.
Right.
And that's the only other one you've shown.
Okay.
That's crochet, I believe.
I need to just put it in the bag when I take it out.
Yeah, probably a good thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Because this is definitely nowhere near the first time you've done that.
No, I do it all the time. Okay, so this is... I'm trying to find my hook in here. I know it's in here. Okay.
Mom put it in the back. Put the hook in the back.
the hook in the
You
back.
literally just said that.
Okay, so this is I did all this, yesterday just in one sitting, and this wasn't the only thing I did. This is almost finished.
Well, that works up really quickly, you were saying.
It does. And this is, doesn't have a pattern. This is a tutorial by Kay F. Jones of Bakery Bears fame. She's infamous. I love Kay and Dan. They're
That's
wonderful.
more than famous.
That's more than famous. That is a reference. Okay, so this is going to be one of the dishcloths that goes to Brittany. I love working this, and I may get some yarn to do a blanket in something like this if I feel like that's an option for me. So this is, I was looking at the cost, and I don't know how much yard. I went to look at the yardage, and it's kind of pricey, so I want to make sure that I'll finish it before I do it. I could do it in knit picks, but it would all be solid colors and no depth.
You want some fun.
I want to have some fun. I could dye up my own yarn.
Just wanna have fun.
But see, if I dye up my own yarn, it's going to be just as much expense as if I did it with the yarn I was going to do it with. The
the one that I
yeah,
it's
I can't remember the name.
the one with Canyon.
It's Lion Brand. It's Lion Brand yarn.
Lion Brand. It has like Black Canyon. It has, I can't remember all the other colorways, but they're all like Canyon.
Right. And I think this is the second one I've gotten out of this. I love this cotton. As soon as I finish what I have in here, I'm going to start with the Dishy and see how I like it.
And you're going to hate it, and then you're going to give it all to me.
No.
Oh, I forgot to grab the, do you have a little bit more? Next time you go to your next two, I'll go grab my Dishy that I forgot to grab. Because I got it right after the podcast. Right. So I forgot that it arrived.
Right, okay.
And I needed to show it.
Okay, so that's that. Your turn.
Okay, so this only got a little bit of work done on it. Because usually if I'm working on a blanket right now, I'm working on the one that I have to have finished by October.
How many do you have after this?
2.
You have 2 after this? Okay, so I do one at a time then. Okay.
So, in my big Ravelry tote bag, is my migraine baby blanket pattern
Very pretty.
project.
And you're doing a bigger one than I'm doing.
Well, yeah, this is the receiving blanket. And I've actually adjusted the sizes. So now there are, now there's an Afghan size as well. So if someone wants to make an Afghan, it's not the migraine baby blanket, it's a migraine baby blanket / Afghan pattern. It's, what was the smallest size? It's,
it's not crib, is it?
no, security.
Security.
Security blanket. And you might want to take a look. It doesn't change your count of your stitch. It just changes how long you're supposed to do it for. So look at the new pattern I sent you, so you do it for the appropriate
For
length.
the migraine?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because it's a little bit longer.
Okay.
Than what is written down, and I had adjusted to have the width be more correct to what it actually is, because I had misattributed the length in my original calculations. So they just attributed the width. So it's long. It's a little bit longer than it was before. So security blanket, receiving blanket, which is what I'm doing now. There's a crib blanket, which is a little bit bigger than receiving, and then there's the Afghan size. So it gives you a nice range. And yeah, because I always feel like, sometimes you just want to make an Afghan. And it's nice not to have to be like, well, what do I have to do to make it a little bigger? You have an Afghan size. So yeah.
I might just make that in chunky or bulky or something and have a bigger...
You could do that.
Yep. That's another way to up the size.
It is. But there you go. That's this. It's a very simple pattern. But I had designed it just because I needed something simple. I was having, it wasn't technically a migraine. It's related to my light sensitivity. But it was bad enough that I couldn't have any light in the room, and I had to be able to knit something.
All right. Well, if you want to go get it, go get it.
Yeah, I'm going to knit my cotton. You go ahead and talk.
Okay, I'm going to skip the next one and come back to it because I can't show it. I'll go to this one. Okay, in my Kiki Boo brown teacups bag, I was hoping to do more on this, but I just didn't. This is the Turtle Shell Dishcloth project from the Knit a Ball Band Dishcloth by Knitting and Crochet. It's a free pattern. This is partially Wombat of Doom's fault. That's Patty. And Talia's fault because she told me where the pattern was. So I am doing this in, I love this cotton in 2 different shades of green. I think it's Forest and, I don't have it written down. It is Pistache, which is this one. And the other one is, let's see, Forest. I was right. It's Forest.
Is that another dish?
Yeah. So this is, go ahead.
Oh, is that the one that Patty's been making?
Yes. Between me and Patty, Rena wants to make one now.
What's a really cool looking pattern?
Beautiful. And doesn't that look like a turtle shell?
It really does. And I thought that when I saw it originally,
So-
but I purposely didn't say anything to you because I didn't want you to think of it too.
I already thought of it. It was the first thing I thought of when I saw
Because when I
it.
saw it, I was like, oh, I can't tell Mom it looks like a turtle.
Turtle shell. So that's this. And this is fun. I am enjoying this pattern. I have had very low energy all week. I didn't want to dye yarn. I didn't want to knit or crochet. The stuff that you saw, the majority of the stuff that I've done, I did toward the beginning of the week. All I wanted to do was sleep. I didn't want to do anything. No yarn got dyed, nothing. So this is just, it got kind of pushed aside. I did do a little bit on it, and I'm really, really happy with it. I just really like this pattern. I could probably whip this out in a few days, but if I actually worked on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is kind of a prerequisite to whipping out.
I need to get a little guard thing for the needles here so it doesn't come off my.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, it's small enough that it stays put.
So I can only show you a bag.
Oh, Kyle, hold on. This is what?
You need to be lower. You were way up high, so they couldn't see it.
This is Kiki Boo Bag's teacups bag. I love that tea time bag.
Okay, so, in my Silvershed USA Rebel Scum bag, this has kind of become my dishcloth bag unintentionally.
Right.
Because now I just, like, whenever I finish dishcloth, I do it in here.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, but that's what this is made for.
Because the Rebel Scum needs to be wiped up.
I guess so. This has my pattern that's currently in testing, the Mosaic Bunny Butt dishcloth in here.
Okay.
And this is the one that I did in the tutorial video.
Okay, now in my M&M's bag is a pattern I can't show you. It's a project I can't show you. This is my Turtle Tracks blanket, and this is a test for Talia. Okay, I'm doing it for Talia. But I'm also, if I ever work on it, I hope to give this to my parents. So that's this. So that's that. I can't show it to you. Sorry, guys.
And then the next one is what I've done the majority of knitting on this week. Because I had to do approximately an inch a day. And I've had a lot of, I've been really affected by the weather this week. I've been very tired. And I've been distracted also by other things that gather my attention. But mostly it's been very tired. I'm almost at 14 inches.
Right. And this is the same pattern as that, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is one that I designed for someone who needed a former coworker who needed a blanket, I guess for a baby shower. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask her, but that's my assumption. And
I think she would have told you if it was something more important.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I whipped up the pattern for her because she wanted 2 colors, and it's here. And like I said, I'm almost up. I think I'm almost at 14 inches. I said.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Might be almost at 15. Anyway, I don't need to have it to her until about October 1st. No later than October 1st. So
I didn't realize how close that is until I said today was August 1st. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a 40... I'm doing the receiving blanket size. That's 40 by 40. Mm-hmm. And I'm still on a good pattern. Good pace, thank you, to getting it done. Even though this week it was very hard for me to hit my goals. Mm-hmm. But I'd also gotten to the point that if I needed to, I could slow down a little bit because I'd gotten so much done the first week.
Right. That's why you do
first
more,
2 weeks.
More at the beginning.
And also when I'm tired, I can work on this versus some of my other things.
Right.
Because it doesn't require that much attention.
Any FOs?
Actually, it's a, what's it called? It's a, rough draft.
Oh, you have a rough draft. Okay, go ahead.
Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. It's not, it's a, let me see what I put down here. It is I have it written down here.
Hang on, I probably have it.
Edits.
Yeah, it's the ones that...
We don't do it very much, that's why we forget it.
Yeah.
Edits.
Yeah, I have it down on my notes wrong as rough drafts.
Rough drafts is, whips.
Oh, okay. Well, this is an edit. This is one it's basically done, but I just need to weave in all the ends. I finally finished edging this, because I don't think I had this finished last time.
It's nice.
Edging is all done, but I just can't bring myself to sit down and weave in all the ends.
I get that.
Not while I still have this blanket where I need to, the baby blanket where I need to finish it on a certain time period. When I get done with it, I want to knit something else. I don't want to weave in ends.
Right.
So this probably won't get the ends, way more ends woven in on it until I'm done with the baby blanket. Because it kind of feels like one more thing I have to do.
Right.
So there we go. I am still,
Sporadic intermittent fringe.
so right now when I'm sleeping with it, I flip it so that the end with the edges, with no loose ends on it, is against me. And then all the ends are waving up at the ceiling. And I mean, it's length I need to be and all that. So I'm very happy to have this. This is, even though it's not technically done because I haven't woven in all the ends, it's still getting a lot of love.
Right. Okay, well mine probably falls more in that category as well, because I have to weave in ends, because apparently I don't want to weave in ends at this point. So you saw my whip of this, and this has become my dishcloth bag for the moment, because I just stick a bunch of yarn in here and I make my dishcloths. Okay, I have, make sure I got them all out of here. Okay, the ones I finished, I have 2 of these that I finished. And I probably could have finished the green one too, but I said, nah. Okay, so I finished trying to see what the color is. Blue. So I have a blue one that I finished. Well, it's a rough draft. Not a rough draft, an edit. Okay, here's the blue one I finished. And I finished a aubergine one. Aubergine, this purple kind of color. So I finished these 2. They need to have their ends whipped. So these 2 are done. These 2 I finished this week. There. And then I have another one of the aubergine. A red.
All these are this week?
No.
Okay.
Blue. Just the 2 I showed you. A finished green.
And don't forget we have that box for it.
Yeah. And I have to weave in all the ends.
Oh, okay.
And I have a green in progress. And then I have to do another red to even this out. And then I'm going to probably try to go with the dishy and see how that works.
And she's going to hate it and she's going to give it all to me.
She keeps saying that because she thinks so this...
I'm hoping to embed that, like, subconsciously. And then she'll be like, oh, I hate this.
Because
this one, this to Talia.
This one's already almost done. I mean, it's just this green one. So... I really like this. I've never would say I ever liked squares. This is fun for me because it gets done. I have a finished object. It's not difficult and I'm enjoying it. So that goes in here. Thank you, Kay, for a fun tutorial pattern. So those are my FO/edits.
Okay, so that leads on to actually I have a new section.
Oh, okay.
Because
that's right, you do, yeah.
I ended up
you could put that in. Let me see something here. Let me see what we had it for.
I mean, I guess it's technically shop, but it has its own whips.
Hold on, I'm trying to think.
I'm calling it beads and string.
Okay.
Because we used to have something for
we had graphic novel
stitch.
for cross stitch, and it still doesn't work for that. So.
Yeah, so I have it right now. I just have it called beads and string. So basically, it sounds like I'm making jewelry, but I'm not. I wanted a chaplet, and I couldn't find one.
Explain what a chaplet is.
Okay, so chaplet is, well, in this case, it's for Saint Therese, who I think she's fairly popular even among non-Catholics. She's kind of like Saint Francis.
She and Saint Francis and Saint Anthony.
Yeah. Basically, she was known for her little way, trying to live every little thing for God. Even if someone is just being super annoying over there, you're trying to be like, okay, I love this person, and I'm gonna
Offer it up.
But the chaplet is 24, because you only live 24 years, glory bees. And glory bees is basically a prayer of, you're glorious, God, you're amazing. And you just say that 24 times. And then you ask Saint
And you
Therese,
don't just say it.
you pray it. Sorry, yeah. You pray it 24 times. And then so 24 times saying, God, you're awesome is pretty cool. And then at the very beginning, you say, like, hey, Therese, could you pray for me? You know, which you ask your friend or whatever to pray for you. So you're just asking your big sister in heaven to pray for you. Spiritual big sister. But I couldn't find one because I break things.
Yeah, you break things.
I break everything I touch. So anyway, I break things. And anytime I've had a metal rosary or chaplet or anything with, really pretty fancy beads and little metal rings, inevitably I will snap it. I will destroy it. It will be dead. So,
You can't kill beads.
I can. So I was looking for one that was, I think I turned that weirdly. I was looking for one that was paracord and bead, because some of my favorite rosaries are paracord and bead, because I can't destroy that.
Yep.
Couldn't find it. When I was a kid, I used to know how to make rosaries with the special knots and everything. So I got material so I can make my own. And I was like, oh, I could make some of these kind of things for the shop, including rosaries. So that's a new segment. I'm now into, and I know it's a lot of Catholic stuff for non-Catholics, but
Bear with us, please.
please bear with us. It's just background information about what I'm making. This is a St. Therese chaplet. I love the heaviness of the beads, because then I like the feeling of the weight of it. And it's just very simple. They're not usually straight like this. Usually they're closed.
You can see the knot better here.
Yeah.
See the knots here?
Yeah.
And
And that's a very thick paracord. I'm not always going to use that thick of a paracord.
I actually like this paracord because I tend to break the cords.
You've even broke the cords?
Not for paracord, but the chain. And I have a rosary upstairs that's very, very thick. I mean, it's very thick. It doesn't like fall over your hand. It's very thick, and I put that one under my pillow so that if I want to hold it, and it won't break. I like the paracord.
The one problem with it being this thick is it doesn't fit through most crosses.
Right.
So this is one. I'm waiting for something that I use to keep it from fraying at the end. So once that arrives, I'll be able to cut off the edges and put this in my shop. But this is another. This is where how most of them are. They're closed. And I'm going to have some with clasps, so you can have it open or closed, or you can wear it around your wrist. So yeah, it's fun. It's a little bit of a nice break once I've been knitting on the blanket all day. I can work on this toward the end of the day. And like I said, this is very Catholic. It might not be everyone's.
It's more just telling you what she's putting in the shop and what she's been up to.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm enjoying this new craft because as you know, I don't tend to go much outside of the knitting, crocheting, and this is something very different for me.
So you probably will see that, but not get the explanation for that one.
Just explanation for the first one.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of different colors for the paracord, and I have my thinner one. I'm just waiting for my smaller beads, and they're supposed to arrive today. And a bunch of, other crucifix.
Accoutrements.
Yeah, everything I need to make what I need. Put these back over here. So yeah, and this is from a pretty box. Michael's has the prettiest boxes.
Yeah,
guys.
I have Michael's boxes all over the place.
It's like a book.
I have.
Oh, hey, apropos.
Yes.
Rose.
Rose, yes. I have.
She's called a little flower, and it's always a rose that's associated with her.
I have 3 or 4 over here, 2 or 3 of which look like suitcases. The suitcases. I've got another 2 or 3 here, and one over here that has my tea in it.
It's just a pretty way to store stuff.
I like it because it doesn't look messy, and
but especially with a bunch of strings and beads, that can get messy really quickly.
I have my needles and stuff in it. I've got tea in that. I've got packing material and prizes down there. So the boxes are very functional and they're pretty. I like them. They're very pretty. So okay, moving on.
Yes,
we are getting late here. Stash enhancement.
Okay, so some of that was stash enhancement.
Okay.
And then I have some yarn stash enhancement. And Mom gave me this book. She had an extra.
Yeah.
So this is Mary, Mother of Apostles.
Yeah.
How to live Marian devotion to proclaim Christ.
Yeah.
So that, looking forward to that.
And I've got, I don't know if I showed this last week. Ty said I didn't. This is my practical guide to spiritual reading. So I'm looking forward to having a little more focus in my spiritual reading. Okay?
Are you doing tea now?
Tea. This is my last thing.
Well, and I have yarn after that.
Tea. I paid you for all that.
Oh, did you? Okay, I'll have to take a look at tea.
Tea. Plum Deluxe tea. Whoops.
Yes, because I was running out of some tea, or I run out of some tea, and I asked her if she wanted me to pick up anything for her. So I was running out of Heritage Blend black tea, and the only way I could get it is if I got it with maple dust. Not my preferred sugar, but it's good.
Yeah. It's not sweet enough.
No, and I had also got the coconut a la creme black tea that I had.
I think the maple dust is good for people who maybe don't put a lot of sweetener. It would be
I like
very
a lot
good.
of sweet.
It would be very good. Now I've got banana bread dessert tea and vanilla sugar cookie dessert tea. So,
And then I guess I'll let that fall. I had gotten, ouchie.
all right.
Yeah, it's just that little twinge. The twinge in the wrist is a lot better than it was yesterday, so I'm hoping maybe some of the weather's passing. Now, another blanket I'm designing, and I'll be able to work on more when this commission is done, is going to be using these colors. This is for the one, okay, so I have one that's actually going to be a baby blanket. These colors are for me.
Oh, is that the one I think it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got 2 other yellows and a red. Yes, it's still Pound of Love, which is traditionally a baby blanket yarn.
DK.
Yeah. It's a 4.
Is it a 4? Mm-hmm. Usually baby blanket.
I call it, I think it's a little, it's like a light worsted myself.
Yeah, like a light worsted.
But yeah, this is going to be for me because I decided I needed it. And I hemmed and hawed over the colors, and because initially I wanted black and red, but I thought that would be not enough contrast.
And too dark.
It would have gone with my room though.
Yeah, but it's too dark. You don't need to have that dark.
Okay, so not all of this is new. Let me pull out the ones that are new. Because I'm running low. You can see I'm running low on
I
some of
thought
my
you
colors.
showed. I guess you didn't.
No, because I hadn't received mine
Yeah,
yet.
right.
I received mine right after the
Yeah.
podcast. So more of Dishy. This is it.
I guess I'm thinking. I think you showed it on the tea time.
No, I haven't shown it yet.
You didn't? Okay. Why do I think you showed it?
This is Swan. You showed yours.
Yeah, no, I showed mine.
I just showed it to you right after the podcast. Then I got. Oh, I had one of the purple. There it is. This is choo
Not choo.
mulberry, and this will go very nicely with my. Where's the colorway? Lilac Mist. And I wanted a true yellow because the one that I had thought was yellow and I initially picked up for a yellow. Oh, I have it in a project right now. It's Fox and it's more of an orange.
Right.
This one is Bumblebee. So definitely yellow.
Bumblebee.
Isn't that cute?
Bumblebee. I just finished watching Bumblebee.
I think this would be really pretty together,
Yeah.
as well as with the purples. And this is jalapeno. They didn't have the Enye on there.
Maybe they didn't have it on the type or whatever.
Yeah. The jalapeno. I bet a lot of people just say jalapeno.
They might.
Jalapeno.
Jalapeno. Okay.
So that's all the stash enhancement. I do have, like I said, beading type stuff coming in. Because on Sundays I allow myself to take a break from the commission blanket because otherwise I would get nothing else done and I would probably want to murder the blanket. So
Okay. In the interest of keeping this short, we should probably just kind of run shorter. We should run through what we got here fairly quickly. No in-depth explanations. Okay. I've got the shared story. I have done
first shop news. And shop news.
Okay. The shop news is ending, right? Or is it?
We haven't done shop news.
I know. Are we supposed to do it at the end?
No, we do shop news.
Okay. Do you have something to say for the shop, or do you want me to say first?
Snake Stethoscope Cozy has been released, as have my Grand Baby Blanket. Sacrament Most Holy is released on Etsy. I need to still release it on Lovecrafts. Bunny Butt Dishcloth is in testing.
Okay, for me, I have 2 skeins beyond I showed you last week that I still have to put up in the shop. The if you're happy, no, if
It is the Makes Me Happy. No, it's Happy If You Know.
you're happy and you know it,
Because it's not this, right?
right? And it's not the other happy one that I had. if you're happy and you know it. Anyway, the set I showed you, somebody purchased it right off the podcast, so that went like that. If you guys like that kind of a kit or a set, let me know. If you want, I'm toying with the idea of having happy sets, which would be happy and you know it, makes me happy, don't worry, be happy. Maybe I could stick in some other bright things like, maybe candy corn and things like that are bright. If you're interested in that kind of thing, let me know. It would probably be the three skeins. What it usually is the color, the like happy or makes me happy or whatever, that skein, and then it would be exploded. It would be like the colors that go into it, two of the colors that go into it. If I do a DK, I haven't quite decided what I would do for that, because due to the yardage, I might do just the 3, but I think it would only end up like with about 400 yards. I might do a big skein and 2 small, whatever you guys let me know if you think that is something you would be interested in. And I also have, that one depends on the availability. I do have some of the 50-gram fingering sock. I don't have any of the half skeins for DK right now, but if I can get it, then I can make these things for you guys if you want them, okay? Just let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. Also, what colors you'd like to see coming up in the shop. If there's anything, any of my colorways that you'd like to see come up into the shop, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Okay. The other 2 skeins haven't gone up yet. I did finally find a name, but I wrote it down and I don't remember what it is because I didn't put it in my notes. So I have that one, and I have a skein of the non-repeatable, is that red, kind of red, pink, magenta kind of color, and I haven't put that in the shop yet either because I didn't. Okay, I just didn't. So that's that.
Then it's reading and watching, right?
Okay, we're reading and watching, and writing.
Mm-hmm. And you said the shared story.
I did a little bit of writing on the shared story. I'm still doing a lot of blocking. I did write out
and by blocking, she means she's marking what can be deleted.
Right.
Because we cover that material like ad nauseum.
Right. And there was such a long time period that we had to leave more in that we wanted to. We usually don't leave as much as we did this time because it was almost a year, maybe even a little more than a year before I got it back. Mm-hmm. And usually it doesn't take that long with everything that was going on,
I had neurosurgery.
Yeah. So I did write like a kind of an quasi outline about what I want to cover in certain parts of it and put it at the bottom. So I have that. So when I get to that point,
you know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing. I also was doing prompting for my percolator group this past week. So I just finished my week today.
Yeah, I actually got a little bit of writing done.
Yay.
Because I did that little...
That's right, you did.
That little piece for percolator.
I haven't had time or brain power to do anything original at this point, but except for the shared story. I'm hoping that will change when I start paring down, because what happens is, as you all know, if I get too much stuff, I get overwhelmed, and I just kind of spin my wheels. So I have
to... for a while, she's trying to do designing and this and that, and the other thing is just like, okay, you need to focus.
Yeah, and I was tired, so... Yeah. So that's that. Reading, I'm still reading Night. I've kind of pulled back on that because I finished the book I gave Taya. I finished that on Kindle, so that's done. And I picked up The Praying Like Mary. Mm-hmm, and I'm reading that. So
and I'm still reading that. So there, right, that covers me too.
Right. So okay, so that's basically it for that.
A little bit for me.
Okay.
So we mentioned the book that we were reading in common. And I'm also reading, I finished reading We Too, Victoria and Albert, Rulers, Partners, Rivals by Gillian Jill. I didn't realize how close I was to the end. So I then picked up reading King Stephen by Edmund King. Okay. I was going to read Empress Matilda simultaneously. I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to actually do that. I might, because I wanted to do, like, Empress Matilda, right, King Stephen, and One Corpse Too Many,
right,
with Brother Cadfael, right, in it, where King Stephen's actually a character, and they reference, like, that segment of history is a huge part of that story. Mm-hmm. So I was like, ooh, it'd be kind of cool to, like, have this thing going where all my books run in this theme.
Right. See, that would be nice, but it'd be a lot of work, too.
And I was like, I'm not sure if I want to put that much work into it, so we'll see if that actually happens.
I know I have a history book in my queue about Bunker Hill, and the guy who wrote it is a Pulitzer Prize finalist.
You see, I'm not really huge into reading American history.
I love the Revolutionary War period along with medieval history and Asian history.
If I definitely go British history. I'm a real Anglophile when it comes to
I'm
my
an Anglophile as well.
history reading, and it tends to be Victoria Albert is actually quite late for me. I tend to prefer medieval Tudor.
Yeah.
It's
the fun part. So
and I will branch into other countries
Egyptian.
for medieval and Tudor.
I like Egyptian ancient history.
You see, when I read that, it's a little harder to keep track of the names, and the culture is so foreign to ours.
Well, I used to like Mesopotamia and all that kind of stuff. I haven't Persia, all that kind of stuff.
I'm interested in that area, but I'm not interested enough to read biography after biography about it. Also, your source material is a little smaller.
I tend to like the Revolutionary War, medieval history, Asian history, that kind of stuff.
And one of the nice things about English history, and it's come up several times in podcasts I've listened to. One of the podcasts that I listened to mentioned this a lot was the guy who does the Queens of England podcast. He mentioned it a lot, and actually it mentioned again, I think, in the other half, which is, again, another thing he does on different women in history. The Queens of England was medieval to Tudor times, the queens. But what he's saying is the nice thing about England during this time period is England was almost obsessive about noting expenses. And so you have this paper trail that's amazing for English history in medieval time that other countries might not have had.
Okay, we're going to stop it there.
Okay. Because I can go on this topic.
Yes. Okay, so
let me just make sure I hit everything. Yeah, that's all my stuff.
We do want to thank the people who commented either.
Oh, one thing. I did forget. No, I just forgot. One of my new obsession, Six, the musical. Tudor queens. So the queens of Henry VIII as a Spice Girls girl group type.
Okay.
So cool.
Okay.
And historically accurate in the details.
Okay, Taya. We have to stop now. No, not even remotely. Okay, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get you guys out of here under 2 hours. We want to thank all the people who have commented either on YouTube or on our PHN homepage. If I don't mention you, it's because I didn't see you before the podcast, but we appreciate everybody who comments and everybody who watches, whether you comment or not. Want to thank Brittany, Wendy, Chronically Crocheting, Sandra, Beverly, Freeze Babies Fiber Frolic? Freeze Babies Fiber Frolic. Carla. Yes, all of you. Thank you.
And I'm sorry that I haven't commented on anyone's comments on YouTube this time.
I responded, so I think I got everybody.
Because I think I missed everybody this week.
Crystal, if you
in my defense, I've had to release 3 patterns this week, so that kept me busy.
Crystal, if you were watching, I did tag you with the requested link for the podcast that you asked for. It's in right below your comment, okay? All right, so we are going to close because it's a lot longer than we intended it to be.
Although not as long as I thought it would be.
Only because I cut you off.
6, guys. Seriously, check it out.
We are going to say goodbye now, but we want to wish you all a very, very blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. We hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 413, and that's a wrap.
Bye.